short tefillah. Halal Yah, Halal Yah. Abba Yahweh, Melech Olam. That is our Father, Yah, King everlasting, King of this universe. We come to you now, Abba Yah, humbled, seeking your face, Abba Yah, and just giving you all the praise, honor, and esteem. We say Toda Rabba Abba for blessing us with life, health, and the Akkad Abba Yah, the love of Mishpachah, family. We thank you, Abba Yah, for this set apart day that you ordained and commanded that we rest, Abba Yah, and reverence your glory, Abba Yah, your majesty. We thank you for hearing our prayers, Abba Yah, and answering in due season at your will, Abba Yah. We thank you, Abba Yah, for your Ruach HaKodesh that washes us, Abba Yah, that comforts us, that teaches us all things, Abba Yah, and reminds us of who we are and whose we are, Abba Yah, and why you set us apart. And we ask, Abba Yah, please, as we become aware, Abba Yah, once we know the error of our ways, Abba Yah, are falling short, and we repent that you forgive us, Abba Yah, of our trespassing transgressions, our iniquities, Abba Yah, and forgive us and blot them out of your memory, Abba Yah. And we just ask, Abba Yah, that on this Shabbat day, that you bless us with shalom, Abba Yah. All your Yahawadah, all your children, Abba Yah, that are scattered to the four corners of the earth, that are trying with all their heart, with all their soul, and with all their mind, Abba Yah, to walk in all your ways, that you put your hedge of protection around us, Abba Yah. You comfort us. You bless us with everything we could possibly need, Abba Yah, that your light shines in this earth, Abba Yah, that as if you promised, Abba Yah, that all your creation, Abba Yah, will give you the praise, the honor, and the esteem. As we go into the lessons today, Abba Yah, I just ask that you bless us with your Ruach to guide us through your word, that we may be blessed with the truth, Abba Yah, that we may be blessed with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that we may be pleasing in your sight, Abba Yah, as your children, as we try with all our heart, Abba Yah, to return to the law, statutes, and commandments, to learn how to love you and love our neighbors, Abba Yah. And in all things, Abba Yah, Tob and Ra, good and bad, in every situation, we say, Toda Rabba Abba. Blessed are you, Yahweh. Blessed is your name, Yahweh, and blessed is he that comes in your name, Yahweh. Halal Yah. Amen wa amen. All right, Mishka. I'm kind of operating out of my comfort zone. I'm at my Bati's house in Texas, and I'm using my tablet. So the functions of this tablet is not what I'm normally used to, but we're going to try and labor through it. I'm not going to be before you long this Shabbat. This is sort of an introduction to a cultural series. I want to call it Walking in All His Ways, which is our way of life, our culture. And we've been through what culture is, from the very basic understanding to an in-depth study of what our culture is as the set apart people of the Most High. Can y'all hear me?
Came, but there's a lot of static.
Okay, give me just a second. Okay, what this is your. Slika, Mishpaka, give me just a second.
Much better.
Can y'all still hear me?
Came.
Gang.
Now I can't hear y'all. All right, we're going to work through this.
Okay.
All right, how about now?
Came.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Toda. We're going to work through this. I'm on my bot's laptop now, so if Adon Yohanan, if you could give Bot Zion a co-host, that would work out for me. All right. So we've been through what culture is, from the very basic understanding to an in-depth study of what our culture is as the set-apart people of the Most High Yah. So if I ask, what is our culture? What identifies our culture distinctly from all other cultures? We should be able at this point to say without any doubt that Torah sets us apart from the other cultures of the earth. And then how we handle Torah, or how we regard Torah, sets us apart. That is our culture. And so let's get started in the book of Devarim, or Deuteronomy chapter 10. Deuteronomy chapter 10. And we're going to start at verse 12. So Devarim, or Deuteronomy chapter 10, and we're going to start at verse 12. And it reads, "And now, Yisrael, what doth Yah thy Elohim require of thee, but to fear Yah thy Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yah thy Elohim with all thy heart and with all thy soul." Verse 13, "To keep the commandments of Yah and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good." For thy good. All right. And so I want to focus in on walk in all his ways. Right? Walk in Hebrew, the word here in the text is la lachet. And the root word of that is yelak. And it literally means to go or go away. And figuratively, it means manner of life. A manner of life or way of life. And it says, walk in all his ways. Ways here in the Hebrew, in the text, is derakha, or derakha, depending on the dialect. And the root there is derek. Now, we've been through this word before, a couple of Shabbats earlier, and we know that literally it means a path, or a lot of times it's translated into English as a road. And figuratively, it's a journey. And it's also a course or a manner of life. Ways, deraka, derakah, and the root is derek, a course of life or a manner of life. And then I want to look at to serve Yah, your Elohim, right? To serve in the Hebrew, in the word they have in the text is wa la abod. And the root word there is abad or abed, right? And it literally means to work. It means to work for another, to be subject to, or led or enticed to serve. Abad. And then it says to keep the commandments of Yah and his statutes for your good. And we all know that keep is shamar, right? And literally it means to guard, to protect, to treasure it. But it also means to perform as a vow. Let me say that again. That word shamar, we all know it's to guard, to protect, the way we feel about the commandments. They are precious to us. We want to guard them and protect them. But in some context, and in this context here too, it is to perform. And then they have in parentheses as a vow. And then for our good, right? And the Hebrew there is tob. We all know that, tob miod. And literally it means pleasant. Most of the times when it's translated to English, it's pleasant. It means pleasant, but we also know that it means functional. It can mean functional, and it can also mean the function of uprightness, the good, the benefit of uprightness. And it also is for prosperity and for well-being. Need to keep those in mind. Now, this is Moshe talking to the generation that is about to go into the promised land, right? The land that the Most High promised our forefathers, the land flowing with milk and honey, which is an idiom, which means it has everything that we could possibly need in that land. It's flowing with everything that we could possibly need in that land. We are about, this generation that made it through the wilderness is about to go in and possess it. And he asked them, this is a question at the end of that, there's a question mark. And he's asking them, the whole body, Yisrael, do you understand what the Most High requires of you? That's really the question. Do you understand what the Most High requires of you? This generation has proven themselves before the Most High to be worthy of representing him to all the nations that they will encounter in the land that the Most High will establish them as a nation. Israel is no longer sojourners in everybody else's land. Israel is no longer going to be subject to the rules and the laws of the other cultures, but now they're about to have their own land, in fact, their own kingdom, where they can live by their own sovereign rules, their own cultural standards and customs that the Most High gave us. And really, this is a rhetorical question. It doesn't need an answer. They have grown up, this generation has grown up with Torah, and they have experienced the blessings of obedience and the cursings of disobedience. So this question is more like, don't you know, by now, don't you know what is required of you, of the Most High? So now let's go to the book of Jacob or Yaiqab or Yaiqab, translated into English as James in the Brit Hadashah in the New Testament, the book of James. And we're going to start at chapter 1. James chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 21. So James chapter 1, starting at verse 21, and it reads, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. Verse 22, be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass or a mirror. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, direct, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. And this is an epistle, or more like a circular, sent to the scattered 12 tribes of Yisrael. And what James is saying here is encouraging Yisrael, those that are scattered, to remain faithful. And he reminds the scattered of Hamashiach's teachings, and he's pointing out the function and the blessing of faithfulness. In this passage, James is encouraging us to not only hear, understand, and trust in the word, but that faith requires doing what the word instructs, or else it's all vanity. So now the question is, what is the word? What is the word? If we are to be hearers and doers of the word, we need to know what the word is. And so I put the question on the floor. I'll take the first two hand raises. What is the word? Akoti Rose, Shabbat Shalom, floor is yours.
Shabbat Shalom, family. I would say the word is the Torah, the word that the Father, the Most High, has given us in his book, in the book.
God. Tob answer. Toda Rabbah. And I saw another hand, it said Zoom user. If you still want the floor is yours.
They already said it.
Okay. Khan. Toda, good answer. That is a very good answer. So I'm going to go to, in this chapter in the Brit Hadashah, I'm going to go to the word in the Greek. And in the Greek, that word is logos. And it literally means speech. And it goes further to say speech of a living thing, words of a living thing. But it literally means speech. And in this context, it is the words, it is the speech, it is the spoken thing of the Most High, the precepts of the Most High. And not to talk down to anybody, but so we're all on the same page, a precept is a law or a commandment that dictates behavior. It dictates behavior. And then the equivalent in the Hebrew, there's several, but in this context, the equivalent in Hebrew is dabar, as in hadabarim, the words. Another translation from the Hebrew is omer, right? As in wayomer, which means and he spoke, all right? And so what the word is in this context is like Akoti Rose said, it's the speech, it's the words, it's the precepts of the Most High. And it really doesn't matter who is saying them, but they are the words of the Most High. That is the word in this context. And so Moshe is reminding us of our requirement as Yisrael to fear Yah, to walk in all his ways, the culture that he gave us, to love Yah. Remember Ahab, that strength within, to love Yah, to serve, abad, to be enticed to serve, to submit to Yah with all our hearts and our soul. That's with zeal and with understanding. And to guard his commandments and statutes for our good, for our welfare, for our prosperity, to be functional. So now let's go to the words of the Most High that instructs us in all his ways. Let's go to Shemot, or Exodus, chapter 20. And I'll get to the close. Can you, where's my tablet? I already got it pulled up on my tablet. Give me just a second. I'm gonna share screen here in a second. So we're in Exodus chapter 20, and we're gonna start at verse 1. I need it in the Hebrew. Hit the, there we go. There we go. All right, can y'all see that?
Cain.
Toda Rabah. Okay, so as is our custom, we read that right in Brit Hadashah as Hamashiach said that it was his custom to stand up in the synagogue on Shabbat and read out of the book of the law. And so that's what we're going to do here in line with this series of walking in all his ways. So I'm going to read verses 1 through 3, and Adon Kanakya, if you would, Baba Kashab, you take verses 4 through 6. And Talmudini Brit, next Shabbat, we're going to start here. And so be prepared. You guys, y'all that are studying the Hebrew language and the culture with us, be prepared to help us read Shemot 20. All right. And so I'll take verses 1 through 3, and Adon Kanakya, if you will, take verses 4 through 6. And these are the words of the Most High from his own mouth. The Most High spoke these words to the congregation of Israel. And it reads, Wayedaber Elohim et kol hadeberim ha'ale la'amor Anoki Yahuwah Eloheka asher hotsatika me aretz Mitzrayim mi beit abadim lo yehye lakha Elohim acharim al panaya. And it means Slika. My notes got a little discombobulated with. Okay. And it says from verses 1 through 3, it says, and the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am Yah, thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Mitzrayim, Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other Elohims or mighty ones before me. And Don Kanaka, if you could take verses 4 through 6, Baba Kasha.
God, all right, verse 4.
Lo, Tatse, Laka, Fasil, Wakal, Tamuna, Asher, Bashamayim, Mi Ma'al, Wa'asher, Ba'aretz, Mitakath, Wa'asher, Ba'mayim, Mitakath, La'aretz. Verse 5. Lo, Tishta, Kaweh, Lahem, Walo, Ta'av, Dame, Ta'av, Dame, Ki, Anoki, Yahweh, Eloheka, El, Quana, Poked, Ion, okay. Abot, Al, Banim, Al, Shlish, She, Leishin, Wa'al, Rebeim, Lush, Lasone, verse 6. What Ose, Kased, La Alafin, Wa Ohab, Haba, Wa Lo Haba, Usho More, meets Ota.
Khan, Toda Rabbah. And in the English, starting from verse 4, it means, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah, thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Verse 6, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. These are the words of the Most High. These are precepts. These are commands or laws that dictate behavior. And this is what Moshe was reminding the generation that's about to go into the promised land, their own nation that is going to represent the Most High in all his ways. Now, we're not going to break down verses 1 through 6 on this Shabbat. This is just the intro. This is the introduction. So next Shabbat, Most High willing, we're going to go in depth into verses 1 through 6. And like Moreh Samak says, to see if we can see what's behind the words, if we can see what the English was not able to capture in their translation, that we can get a full picture of what the Most High or our ancestors are trying to tell us. And like I stated in the opening, this is an introduction to a series on walking in all his ways, which is our culture. We are not a religion, as Moreh Samak edified thoroughly last night. We are not a religion. The words of the Most High are our way of life for his purpose. And then as a vow, as a covenant, we have to know, like Ima Shoshana and Ima Audrey said last night, we have to know what is required of Yisrael. And we have to be doers of the word and not just hearers only. Just because we know what the word's saying and we're not doing them, it's all for naught. It's vanity. Like I said, in the upcoming weeks, Most High willing, we're going to try and get beneath these words, these English words. We're going to try and see what is not on the page, see behind these words. I hope it was edifying and to stir up your thoughts on returning to our culture. And that way we won't be deceived anymore. We can't be deceived anymore if we know, and we're not just hearers, but doers of the word, walking in all his ways. Halal Yah. I yield, Morey.
Hallelujah. Oh, praise and esteem be to the Most High. Is there echo, Mr.
King.
Turn your audio off. All right, hallelujah, hallelujah. All honor, esteem be to the Most High, Yah. Great culture portions, Zaqan. At this time, we'll be yielding the floor to Don Kanak, Yah, for his 2-minute warning.